A glowing streak across the night sky tonight could be one of the most dramatic things you'll see all year, and it's not a meteor, it's a SpaceX rocket heading to orbit. What's happening tonight? On Monday evening, people in and around Phoenix have a good chance of spotting a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket as it climbs into space from the California coast. The launch is scheduled from Southern California and, if conditions cooperate, the vehicle's bright trail should be visible from the valley as it races across the sky. Arizonans are being encouraged to step outside and look up, because this is a rare opportunity to watch what, defying gravity, really looks like in real time. And this is the part most people miss: you don't have to be anywhere near the launch pad to enjoy the show. When is the SpaceX launch? The launch window runs on Monday, December 1st, from 6:10 p.m. to 11:10 p.m. Arizona time, giving a wide span of possible liftoff times. Current planning points to a targeted liftoff around 10:28 p.m., but that time is not guaranteed. Rocket launches are extremely sensitive to weather, winds, technical checks, and traffic in space, so delays and adjustments are common. If you want the most accurate, up-to-the-minute timing, you should check SpaceX's official launch page shortly before the window, as that's where updated countdowns and any last-minute changes are posted. Where is the rocket launching from? The mission will lift off from Space Launch Complex 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in Santa Barbara County, California. This coastal site is one of SpaceX's regular West Coast launch locations, ideal for sending satellites into certain types of orbits. Because Vandenberg sits to the west of Arizona, launches from this base sometimes produce spectacular twilight or nighttime views across neighboring states. That's why people hundreds of miles away, including Phoenix residents, may still catch a glimpse of the rocket and its ghostly plume. How to see it from Arizona? If you're in the Phoenix area and want to try spotting the launch, step outside during the expected liftoff time and face generally toward the south. The rocket will rise from Southern California, southwest of the valley, and then appear toward the southeast for much of its climb. You do not need a telescope or binoculars. In fact, the rocket's exhaust plume can often be seen with the naked eye as a bright, moving shape against the darker sky. Of course, light pollution and clouds can make viewing harder, so a darker vantage point with a clear horizon to the south can improve your chances. What will it look like in the sky? If the launch is visible from Phoenix, you'll likely see a bright, glowing streak with a sort of balloon or teardrop-like shape trailing behind the rocket. That glowing streak is a contrail, short for condensation trail, formed when the rocket's hot exhaust passes through very cold, moist air high in the atmosphere. Under the right lighting, especially after sunset when the rocket is in sunlight while the ground is dark, these contrails can look almost otherworldly. They may expand into a shimmering cloud that sparks all kinds of speculation, from UFO rumors to wild conspiracy theories. But here's where it gets controversial: should space companies be doing a better job explaining these effects to avoid confusion and fear, or is public curiosity part of the fun? Prefer to stay inside? If you'd rather not head outdoors, or if clouds ruin the view, you can still follow the action live. SpaceX typically streams its launches on its official social channels, including live video of the countdown, liftoff, and early flight. Watching the live stream while occasionally stepping outside to check the sky can give you the best of both worlds: expert commentary and the chance to see the rocket with your own eyes. What is the Falcon 9 rocket? Falcon 9 is SpaceX's workhorse launch vehicle, designed primarily to carry satellites and spacecraft into orbit. Each flight has an estimated price tag in the tens of millions of dollars, and the system is notable for its ability to reuse the first stage, the tall lower portion that provides most of the initial thrust. Most traditional rockets are used only once, but Falcon 9 is built to fly again and again, which dramatically changes the economics of spaceflight. Since its early flights, the rocket family has completed hundreds of missions with a success rate reported at over 99%, making it one of the most reliable orbital launch systems ever operated. A veteran booster on its 20th flight. The specific Falcon 9 first stage flying this mission is designated B-1081, and it's a true frequent flyer. This launch will mark its 20th trip to space, an impressive milestone for hardware that endures violent forces on every mission. B-1081 has launched from Vandenberg Space Force Base since March 2024, but previously flew from Cape Canaveral in Florida. On its debut flight, it carried a multinational crew to the International Space Station in 2024, stepping in after delays to Boeing's Starliner program. But here's where it gets controversial. Is it safe and wise to push a single booster to 20 flights and beyond, or is this the future of sustainable, affordable access to space? Landing on, of course, I still love you. After the rocket's upper stage has carried the satellites toward orbit, the reusable first stage will attempt a landing at sea. It aims to touch down on an autonomous drone ship whimsically named, Of Course I Still Love You, a reference to a spacecraft in the science fiction novel, The Player of Games. These drone ship landings have become a SpaceX signature. The booster falls back from space, reignites its engines, and tries to gently set itself down on a small platform in the ocean. To many viewers, this looks almost like science fiction brought to life, and it continues to stir debate about how quickly humanity is transforming space into an industrial highway. What is the mission's purpose? This flight is dedicated to expanding SpaceX's Starlink internet constellation. The rocket is expected to carry 27 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, adding to a network that already consists of more than 7,800 spacecraft circling the planet. Starlink's goal is to provide high-speed satellite internet to people who lack reliable cable or fiber connections, particularly in rural or underserved areas. And this is the part most people miss. While many see the bright streak in the sky as a cool spectacle, the real impact is on the ground, changing who can get online and how quickly. How is Starlink used today? Starlink service is already being used in a variety of settings. Many airlines, including major US carriers such as United, have installed Starlink to give passengers faster, more responsive in-flight Wi-Fi. Numerous cruise lines, including well-known names like Royal Caribbean, Canaveral, and Norwegian, have also adopted the system so travelers can stay connected even far from shore. The network has also been deployed during emergencies and natural disasters to restore communication when traditional infrastructure fails. For example, Starlink terminals have supported connectivity during events like the Maui wildfires, Hurricane Helen, and severe flooding in Texas, helping first responders and affected communities stay in touch when they needed it most. The growing Starlink debate. As the constellation grows, so does the controversy. Supporters argue that Starlink democratizes internet access, opening doors for education, remote work, and economic opportunity around the world. Critics worry about light pollution affecting astronomy, congestion in orbit, and the long-term risks of space debris. Some astronomers claim that thousands of bright satellites are already interfering with their ability to observe faint objects in the night sky. Others counter that technological mitigation and satellite design improvements can ease these impacts. Do you think expanding global internet coverage justifies cluttering low Earth orbit with thousands of satellites, or should there be stricter limits on how many can be launched? Your turn, will you look up? So tonight, if the sky is clear, consider stepping outside, facing south, and watching for that bright, balloon-shaped trail arcing over Phoenix. You might be witnessing a small part of a much larger story about how humanity is reshaping access to space, the internet, and even the night sky itself. What do you think? Is this kind of launch an inspiring symbol of innovation, or a worrying sign that we're commercializing space too quickly? Do you feel excited, uneasy, or a mix of both when you see Starlink launches overhead? Share your thoughts. Do you celebrate this new space age, or do you think we're going too far, too fast?